Yesterday, my dear friend Sophia and I had the pleasure of attending the premiere Unveiled, where Nathan Willis, the director, covered these artists as they created these statues of Johnny Cash and Daisy Bates. These statues now are in the Statuary Hall in D.C., and Johnny Cash is the first musician ever to have this honor. Before the documentary started, these panelists, they answered questions, and it made the documentary just so much more personal for us.
In Statuary Hall. We have Charles King, the president of the L.C. and Daisy Bates House Museum Foundation, winner for the National Statuary Hall unveiling events in Washington, Shane Broadway was the chairman of the National Statuary Hall Steering Committee.
You'll also see that dignitaries were present.
Arkansas is a place with larger-than-life people, and Daisy Bates and Johnny Cash represent that.
I think anytime you're trying to capture the personality in a single frozen pose, that's a tall order. But when you're dealing with such a large personality as Johnny Cash, it's really thinking through all that. So I knew the one thing I did not want to do. I did not want to do a stage version of Johnny.
Tell me a little bit about what you hope to accomplish in this documentary.
I did want it to feel like, oh, here's the Daisy Bates section, here's the Johnny Cash section. I wanted it to feel like a coherent story. And there was a time for a good chunk of this where I just didn't think it could be done. I thought that we needed to separate the films. We needed to have a Daisy Bates documentary, and we needed to have a Johnny Cash documentary. And I think my light bulb moment was when I realized I don't think that I need to look at it as Daisy Bates is the main character, Johnny Cash is the main character. I think Arkansas is the main character in this film.
And I hope that when you watch this film, you're reminded that your struggle doesn't have to be where your story ends. I hope this film shows that flowers can still grow even in the hardest of soils, that you can take clay and turn it into something beautiful. Daisy Bates and Johnny Cash were both born in the mud of Arkansas and blossomed into two of the most influential Americans to ever live. And what better metaphor for this than the creation of these two statues? We live in a time where I fear that common ground is disappearing. But I hope this film is a reminder that some values are universal. And loving your neighbor as yourself are values that transcend religion and skin color and political ideology. I hope you're reminded of our shared humanity and that maybe we can start to find some of that common ground again. And maybe by doing so, we can see more flowers blooming in the red clay soil of our lives and our society.
In this documentary, he beautifully captured them as they created these statues that, again, are going in the Statuary Hall in D.C. Everyone that saw them got emotional. He thoroughly covered the life of historic Daisy Bates. Many aren't aware that she selected the students that attended Central High School, that historic event that happened in 1957. He interviewed Johnny Cash and family members, and they too got emotional the first time they laid their eyes on the statues. Even students were in awe. The documentary airs tonight, March 20th on PBS. Johnny Cash's sister is blind, so she asked to touch the statues. And former Governor Asa Hutchinson was there. As you can see, everyone was in attendance, all ages, ethnicities. It was awesome. Don't miss it because it airs tonight, March 20th on PBS. This is a must-see documentary.